Skin.land is the site where you can sell your skin within 2 minutes and receive money on your card, crypto, or other payment methods. It's very easy. Look, put email address, set trade link, and bonus for you. Click on the gift, enter my promo code, and get $10 for free if you sell skins for $100. Pick skins you want to sell, click the payment method you want, confirm trade, receive your money. On Skin.land, you can also buy skins. Why Skin.land? The prices are much better than in Steam. You can check it yourself. Link in the description.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Long saw the mid, now has to go. Blue White on one, Blue White on two. What was that? Blue White! Oh my goodness, could have been another frag. Easy. Pushing in through here aggressively. On the line once more. Lampada thinks there's only one. Checks to the left side and now takes them all. Oh, Lampada on the spray transfer. Gets he hasn't had the greatest of games right now, so he has to pull through for his team. How many can he find? That's what we want on music. Oh, the transfer! Down the spray transfer. Beautiful. He knows where the last one is as well. Lampada on the scout. Oh my god! What Lampada? What was that? What is that? What just happened?
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second day of the Apollo Series Phase 2 tournament. My name's Sir Danny. I'm joined here by Josh, M&J, and well, fact of the matter is, Phase 2 here at the Apollo Series. New look, new format, and of course, new teams as well. But before that, Josh, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I would say it's been a long time, but we actually met up a few weeks ago, so it's not been too long. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. Obviously my first... Yeah, back to online, back to not being able to give my boy a hug. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Obviously, my first sort of look at this tournament, my first time on a broadcast. So yeah, happy to be here. And we've actually got a cool matchup coming up as well, with a fresh face for me. I'll be honest. These Agency Clan boys, not a team that I'm all too familiar with. They came through in the Iberian qualifier, so it's new things for me today. It's experiencing new stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if you take a look at the boys there from Agency Clan, like you said it, we don't really know a lot about them. Yes, they were one of the teams, in fact, one of the only team that managed to qualify through the Iberian qualifier. There was only one spot available, but currently, I mean, they're potentially, I'd go far as to say, as the weakest team here. I mean, they're currently playing in ESC Intermediate, and I mean, this is no FDW, Koi, or SAW, who are some of the best teams in Iberia. This is probably, I don't know, go far as to say it's maybe the 4th or 5th best team in the peninsula, so that doesn't really say that much. However, we can take a look at the group stage. So of course, for today, folks, Group A matchups, as today we will have ENCE Academy going up against Agency Clan, but we already had some interesting matchups here. Yesterday, I had the chance to cast Navi Jr. versus Copenhagen Wolves, which was quite a doozy. Navi Jr. beating Copenhagen Wolves very convincingly on Ancient, 13-0 in fact, but that second map, oh boy, the second map of Anubis, we saw all the rounds. I think it might have been 24-20 something there in favor of Navi Jr. So that was a very incredible best of 3. But here, yeah, ENCE Academy already had a chance to play against Permita, and the fact of the matter is they got absolutely wrecked by the Polish squad.
Believe it or not, I was actually watching the Navi Junior Copenhagen Wolves game yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty wild one on Anubis, that second map. But it's to be honest, this group feels quite top heavy, right? Permita are a level above, I think, the other guys in this group, so no major surprise that they were able to dominate ENCE Academy. And especially when you look at it from top to bottom, right? The deficit, the levels between Permita and Agency Clan, for example, it's pretty vast. So I do think that there are going to be a couple of one-sided stomp games in this group. I think where you are going to see those contentious games are between sort of Copenhagen Wolves, Navi Junior, ENCE Academy for certain. Those three seem seem quite well gelled in the middle, but there's definitely a clear victor and a clear bottom. In terms of the stats, right, I don't want to throw Agency Clan under the bus straight away and say, oh, they don't stand a chance. I'm open-minded, and I'd love to see an upset. I'd love to see them come in and give us a little bit more, but it's, you know, the odds are against them.
Yeah, but I will admit, I agree with you. Perhaps it is worth keeping an open mind, because after all, it's not like ENCE Academy is the sort of amazing roster, right? I mean, they themselves are like the second best Finnish team. All right, I say that on paper, that probably doesn't sound too bad, right? But they're probably like 118th right now in HLTV rankings. So consider that as well, kind of a big fall off for Finnish CS in general. And ENCE Academy, right now, they're not looking strong because they're currently switching out players. But it looks of it, they will have their substitute too high, in fact, playing in this matchup as their fifth, though they do have long-standing veterans Hennu and Miltis, who have been in this roster for almost 2 years for an academy roster, so that is pretty huge. But for now, folks, let's take a look at the map vetoes. So ENCE Academy, they usually get rid of Vertigo. It seems to be one of their permabans, and I wouldn't be surprised we could see that here as well. For Agency Clan, we don't really have a lot of data now, do we, Josh? So yeah, it looks like they're going to be banning here the map of Nuke, but I wonder what kind of picks we could actually see from these teams.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to sort of lean into it. Oh, well, they like this map, right? Because we have no data to go off of other than the SEA Intermediate season and the Iberian qualifier itself, where I don't think that the maps that they pick into really have too much bearing on sort of two bases here. Firstly, because it's a best of one format, so you ban until you end up with a map. So you never end up with your first pick, right? Because that's often taken out. And also just because it's against a much lower caliber of opponent. Now, they'll pick into Ancient. It's a nice map, and it's one that ENCE Academy are actually reasonably confident on, so I think that they're not going to be too worried. It's not like they've been thrown a curveball or anything like that. Mirage pick for ENCE Academy, looking to get it done on mechanics, and again, it is actually one of their better maps in the pool as well. I think statistically it might even be their highest win rate. That leaves us with a third and final, potentially Dust 2, potentially Anubis. No, it's a Dust 2 ban, not Ancient, and Anubis as that third and final decider. So, yeah, okay. Interesting stuff. If it comes down to that third map, I'll be honest, I don't have super high hopes for it. You touch upon the fact that their standing too high is playing today. Now, this isn't actually too much of a contingency here for ENCE Academy. They've been playing with too high for the past couple of weeks. Ever since they made that roster change, Server moved into the inactive roster. They've only actually got 4 players. It's not like there's somebody not here today and Too High is jumping in last minute or anything like that. They're only actually playing with a core 4, and Too High has just been the man that's been standing in his absence. And he did actually have a bit of a tenure as well earlier on in the year when UC left the roster. I think Too High came in and stood in for a couple of games there as well. So he's got quite a bit of experience playing with these boys on ENCE Academy, and I don't think it's going to be sort of too problematic him sort of stepping in today and even throughout the tournament.
Yeah, probably not as much as it could have been for, say, other teams, but I've got to say this as well. I mean, you take a look at ENCE's Academy track record these past couple, let's say, months, and it hasn't been great, you know. You're thinking if perhaps maybe Too High is going to be their permanent player, their fifth, perhaps this is some sort of test environment for him. But right now, even with the 4-man core, which they do have, it doesn't feel like it is a strong roster, right? And arguably, I mean, if you take a look at their rankings, say in HLTV, it's been like a roller coaster. I mean, they got up, they gone down, up, and once again down. And it feels like this is one of those periods in which ENCE Academy kind of struggling right now, and I'm not really sure what the cure is, right? Perhaps they need to get a 5th member who might be Finnish, might be able to communicate in Finnish, which would mean that perhaps comms would be better, teamwork would be better, and all that jazz. Though probably the language barrier in CS2 isn't that huge as some players and some, let's say, experts might have thought about it, let's say 10 years ago back in CSGO. But I would still assume that it doesn't feel like ENCE Academy putting in their all, right? Because if you're playing here with a 5th guy who's been part of your roster for a couple weeks, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like this roster is ready to play, at least not yet.
So they've had some decent results recently. I covered these guys in a few tournaments so far this year, actually. And you're right, they haven't made any major waves. They did actually do really well in the Elisa Sumi Season 6. That's like a Finnish-only tournament, so sort of showing that they are one of the better teams within their region. But sort of outside of that, and on the international space and on the wider European space, yeah, you're right, they haven't had the best of results. And it's an interesting point you make with two high playing and therefore that sort of forcing everybody to communicate in English. That could be a factor here. Things underway though. Jewel is in play for Might C. On the other side, it's clocks all round. Kevlar, Gong's got himself a molly and a bit of util that's already been deployed. They're going to send it in. Go for this bomb plant on the B site. As ENCE Academy play very patient. They want to go for the retake here.
Retake is on. Tuxa picks up the frag there at Henu. That's a good start for Agency with that bomb being planted. This is looking like a very winnable round. However, ENCE Academy, they've swarmed the bomb site. All they gotta do now is stick the defuse. They're going in for the engagements, but no one is sticking the defuse. The Molotov has been deployed in the post plant, and what a great round from Agency. Simple push on the B bomb site, and also keeping that Molotov just in case the CTs actually achieve control over the B bomb site. And once the time is right, you chuck in the Molotov, and no defuse can ever happen. So a good round for Agency.
Okay, they're here to play. They're certainly here to play. Not only taking the pistol, but taking it in a very convincing fashion. Still juggling their weapons. Out of spawn very late, though. Either way. Two Galils, a Mac-10, double AKs, and well, a full eco here for the CT side. So it's not going to be any major spanner in the works. ENCE Academy happy to bite the bullet. Come in with just the pistols.
Might as well. Keep it simple right now, ENCE Academy. They decide Ancient, those rounds can be picked up, but man. Mid-control in the hands of Agency, that's for certain. But where do you go from here? I mean, you got lots of opportunities. You still have players like PUG on the Mac-10 who could very easily go on a reconnaissance mission, just clearing out the angles, see if there are any players close by, and potentially give the call to his buddies that, okay, the A-bomb site is clear, might as well just put all our eggs in this one basket, but they haven't really done a thorough job of clearing out the A-bomb site, so eventually they want to commit towards B. This could get a little bit frustrating, but no. Look at this. A clean round from Agency, only losing the one player, 2-0 for them.
There's actually quite a nice storyline here as well. I'm a firm believer of mechanical skill only getting you so far in CS, right? And prep work and actually sort of your time in the practice server has so much weight, so much bearing behind a game. For Agency Clan, coming into this tournament, this is such a huge opportunity for them. Right? This is such a huge opportunity for them as a team that very, very rarely get any kind of spot in the limelight. Obviously, I mean, it's a long shot to say for them to win the tournament, but obviously an invitation spot for a LAN in Lisbon at the end of it as well. So they're hungry for this. They're really hungry for this. And there's a bit of an unknown dark horse playing against teams that have got tons of data stacked against them. They've got all of the time in the world to prepare. And it seems like they've been reading ENCE Academy well in the first couple of rounds, but right here, completely locked out of the B-bomb site. Rinse and repeat the site that's been working well for them. It falls onto the shoulders of Spray. Spots ahead, can't connect with it, knows off of that contact that it's likely one's going to be trying to creep down the ramp, but it does not matter. Pody will deal the damage, and ENCE Academy will put their first on the board.
And I'll admit, I mean, that push to the B-bomb site, sloppy from Agency. Not really doing a good job at clearing out the angles and also not deploying utility, which means you're going in for the straight aim duel, so at the very least, you have to be thorough on your approach. You have to clear out every single angle, and we just didn't see that from Agency. And it cost them their first round here on Ancient. So, let's see how they will change things up. Mid-control in the hands of the CTs. However, Tuxa going for the engagement. Nice flashbang. Secures the frag, and Pody is aware of Henu, but once again Henu picks up two and a third one by Henu. Great positioning from this guy. And fact of the matter is, Molotov being deployed, he should be going down, but no. Survives to tell the tale. But Agency still holding on to middle, and perhaps that's the right choice. It's a bloodbath here in mid, but Miltsy, no, doesn't secure the round. But don't worry. Two highs here, and so ENCE Academy pick up their second.
This is a little bit more like it, right? This is the side that we're expecting to see. Tied up at 2 apiece, no money here for Agency Clan, no real silver linings to go off of. Look at those odds from our partners at EGB. Very, very tight, which is surprising for me. Well, it's the Agency Clan map pick, but I'd still tag them as the underdogs in the series and the underdogs in both maps as a whole. And Fake Sheep, the damage dealt by Seahenu too high, just chomping. And they will close the door right in Agency's face once again.
A swift round there. Pretty simple push from Agency. Hoping perhaps to get the better of ENCE Academy. And this is peculiar. A tactical timeout being taken so early in the first half of the first map of the best of 3. So, interesting. In fact, I would assume that this is an opportunity to have that tactical discussion. Especially if you have a player like Too High, you perhaps want to run things over to make sure that everyone knows what they got to do in a round like this. Especially now. Gun round here from Agency Clan. They got themselves the AKs to work with, as well as utility. It's actually looking pretty decent, but if they once again have to contest mid-control, which on a map like Ancient is a great choice to do,